So we would all go out to eat and she wouldn't order anything. And I was like, are you hungry? Like, she's like, no, I'm good. And then she would just eat everyone else's food that they couldn't finish. And I was like, well, that's really not fair when we're all splitting the checks. Everyone kind of had the same thing. And she kept doing this. And like, she really wanted to go to this place that was like on the beach for like happy hour. And I was like, sure, let's go. So we went. I was like, oh, what are we drinking? She's like, oh, I'm not going to drink anything. I was like, but you wanted to come here. Like you wanted to, this is the whole point. Like I'm here because you wanted to come here. Like,
but don't tell me she was sipping everybody's drinks.
She did.
No.
Do that. And I was like, okay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Two Stand Up Gals. I am your co-host, Erica Spira.
And I am Teresa DeGaetano. Hello, everybody.
Hello. We are here in person. I'm back in New York for my cousin's wedding and my birthday. So we got a little in-person recording on the books here. Always excited. So if you like watching, this one is especially good quality watching on YouTube. You could always watch on YouTube, but check out our YouTube page if you like a little visual. Look at us.
Look at us. It's a rainy day here in New York, so that is why the hair is just doing what it's doing.
Yeah, and I'm not used to humidity, so I'm sweating. Come watch me sweat a little bit. I'm a little sweaty.
You know what? You know what I do? Like when I'm bartending and like the guys come in, the delivery guys, because we've had some hot days here. Like this spring kind of went straight to summer on certain days in New York. And some of these guys, I mean, they're husky boys, but they are sweating. And I give them extra napkins. They don't ask, but I just slide them across the table. And they're like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, here's a glass of water, Papa. Like just, because I get the little chin sweat that happens. Well, last night on stage, I was just shiny. I was the T-zone.
Not much you could do.
Almost a 43-year-old T-zone. Thank you very much.
Not much you could do.
It's like when I got a zit, I'm like, bless you. Still got it. Just that adult onset acne just coming out to play.
We always have to be good to all the delivery men, women, whoever comes through. Back when I was a receptionist / office assistant at that gig, I always was like, do you need a water? Do you need something? Because my job was also stacking the fridge. Oh, those men loved me. I never had to bring a package down to the package room. What are you, crazy? Those boys always helped me out. They'd always be like, is this yours? Do you need? I got this for you. I'll take it to the truck. I was like, thank you.
Meanwhile, Erica's 7 inches taller than they are, but he's like... She's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
It's like, you want a snack? What you want?
You do, and you do have to. I made the mistake one of my jobs that I didn't get along with the guys in the kitchen, and that was pure hell. Like my food took forever. I was like, why is it taking me 15 minutes for a basket of chips?
Yeah.
But now, like I'll show my cleavage for some Caesar salad. Like I'm like, hola. I always give my guy a banana. It's two bananas for $1. I always bring him a banana. I don't know if he always eats it, but I bought the boys coffee last week. You gotta butter them up, or the bread should be buttered.
Yeah, a literal don't bite the hand that feeds you.
A literal what?
It's like a literal don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Oh,
like
literally,
saying,
yeah, it is. Like,
a literal one.
It is feeding me, so don't. So
yeah.
I have had a lot of caffeine today. I was in an infomercial before this as a live studio audience member, and it was fun. I mean, it was a bunch of comics. We clapped it up.
Are we allowed to know the product? What was the product?
It was called Rise. And so it's like a strip that you put under your tongue, and they have it for like Rise Sleep, Rise Energy, Rise Hangovers, and it has like B12, and so it just dissolves. And so I tried one, and then on top of that...
Oh, God. Sorry. Like, you are the last person that needs, like, Rise Energy. And on your day off. And on a day off.
I'm having a coffee. And I'm just like, I don't know where to go. Like, where do I go from here? Like, rock climbing? I don't know. Scared of heights. But, so that the infomercial was fun, though. It was really fun. There was free pizza. And there was a comic that went up for like 9 slices of pizza. And I couldn't stop laughing. I just couldn't.
It's honestly impressive to put that away in that sitting.
It was like every time we had a break where they had to switch the set, he went up and got 2 more slices. And I was like, Oh, like this is
impressive.
where men and women differ, because I wanted to get a second slice and I was a little embarrassed about going up to get a second one. And then I was like, well, so-and-so's taking out a whole pie. So why does
Yeah. Or there's the, you're like, if we run out, you're like, oh, it's because I had a second one. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're like, oh, did everyone even
everybody
get
get one?
first? Like, you're being
First.
concerned of, did everyone even get seconds or first?
But then during the shots, the pie was off. His slices were off to the side on the empty chair. Like he brought it in while we were filming.
Oh, wow. That's bold. No, that's bold. That's bold.
Good stuff.
That's much more bold than just taking a second slice.
It was. I really appreciated the
No shame.
The no shame. I'm going to. I mean, I laughed probably a little too hard. Our other friend, the sweet Charles McBee, was like, "Stop being a nosy ant. Stop looking back there. Stop." And
I mean, because now I'm curious, because I know someone that was his roommate a long time, and I'm just shocked because he's really quiet.
yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't know this guy was just that much of an eater. Like, I'm just impressed at anyone that could put away 8 slices in a day.
And he's not that big of a guy. Like I was
know.
like, where are you putting it? Like that was like pretty impressive. I should have been cheering on, like, go for 10, baby, double digits.
Yeah, now
Let's
you got
go.
me being a nosy ant. I want to text my friend and be like, yo, you lived with this guy. How much did he eat?
And they weren't skinny slices.
Yeah.
It was Joe's Pizza. It was like a deep V. I mean, it was a legit.
Yeah, now I'm feeling
slice.
judgy. I'm like, I want to know.
Yeah, I
what was
was
this
like,
guy's eating habits when you lived together?
It's like a League of Their Own, where she's like, that's some good peeing, and she starts getting out the clock. She's like, he's still going.
Or this is just the comics. This is just classic comics being cheap, where they're like, it's free food. We're all struggling. All right, I didn't sell well this month. I don't have a lot of road gigs coming up. Where you're like, hey, if there's free pizza, I'm gonna eat as much as I can, so I'm not hungry tomorrow.
Gotta hold
Like,
me till Wednesday.
Yeah,
So
that really might be what's happening here.
that could be.
Actually.
So that's why I'm all caffeinated today, Erica. Woo! You've got some stuff going on, girl. You said you're here for your birthday. And
I know. I got a birthday din this week with some friends. I'm not gonna lie, being back in New York in general, 2 things. One, I have, other than like it's raining today, I'm having that like good weather week. It's one of those weeks and weather times of New York that make you be like, yeah, I'd live in the city again. You know, maybe I'll move back. Like it's that like too perfect a time that you have to remind yourself like it isn't always like this.
Right.
You know, the
It's-
like too beautiful, perfect weather. Because in general, I have had the thoughts of like, would I move back? What would be like the reasons of moving back? Or also like, when I am only back for a short period of time, then everyone is trying to see you and hang out. Where it's like, okay, but if you were to fully move back, it wouldn't be so jammed and social. Because my friend was like, how's it being back? And I'm like, it's been like too good that it makes me be like, do I just move back? Do I just make the jump and move back?
I mean, I feel like you should, but you're getting involved in beach volleyball now in the LA
Oh, yeah.
weather. See,
I mean-
this is where when you started doing that, I was like, ooh, Erica might not. She
I
might.
can't leave my terrible beach volleyball team.
I
I
mean-
mean we are 0-5. How could I leave that promising of a season?
Yeah, stick it out, girl.
I can't quit on the team, T.
No.
The pickleball girls I could ditch. We are not friends. But the
Yeah.
beach volleyball team, we have really bonded through our times of sorrow and sadness.
When I played JV basketball, because I never really played varsity basketball in high school, because then I did the musical, we didn't win a game. Like, we lost
That's
every
brutal.
single game. And, like, the coach would get frustrated, and we would get frustrated for, like, a minute, and then we'd be like, so where's everyone going out this weekend? Where are the
Yeah.
parties? Like, what are we doing? It's just like, we're like, shake it off, girls. We're like, don't worry, we already have. Like, we've moved on.
That's so funny.
Yeah. we were
Because
not
it
good.
really, it does make it a lot easier to just have fun because we are playing against teams that it's like, I can't believe you guys are in a Zog sports league. Like, it's like
They're
you,
that good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where we're like, you have to find a league that is more serious, or I'm like, am I wrong? And Zog sports really is a serious situation. Like, you know what I
No,
mean?
I think, yeah, they need, like, I don't know what it is. Like
Like, I thought there
minor
were
league.
much more serious leagues than this. That we're like, I don't.
Like, we're the best at the Zog.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that we lost when a team was just fully down a player was really when it was eye opening for us. That we were like, yeah, they're just playing down one, and we had 2 subs and eating it is pretty bad. I think what's hard is it's like, basically, if I was to put like things in certain columns, the hardest one for me is the career column, where it's like, Well, maybe this just is a hard truth where you go, well, I think either city doesn't feel like too much is happening for me in the career department. Where you go, well, I guess I just should be closer to my friends then. And just be having a more fun time.
I think the one thing we have to accept is everyone thinks everyone else is doing better than they are, which is kind of the truth. Like when it comes to comedy, like because of social media and everything. And you just think that, oh, this person's killing it. Everyone looks like they're killing it and you feel like you're not. But that's just going to be across the board, I think, wherever you are. So, and even when you get to that level of fame, you look at other people and be like, well, they've got this and they've got that and I want that. So you just got to like where you are, I think, or figure out where that is.
Yeah, because I think it's like if you go, where would I be like the happiest? Usually is where you have more of your like closer circle and people. So I'm like, well, for me, that is East Coast now, especially now that I've had basically all my close friends leave LA, essentially,
That is a big
which
deal.
has made it harder. But it's more like I have this feeling where I'm like, did you really like pound the pavement hard enough in LA? And I feel like I didn't. And I'm like mad at myself for that I'm like, oh, that time that you were there, I didn't like utilize well enough and hard enough. And I feel like that was my fault. So that's the thing I keep toying with is being like, do you do X amount more months there and like do it better, do it harder, like pound on more doors, like, and see if you can get some like better opportunities and like make some strides? Or do you just like, it's like, do you just kind of like quit while you're behind is more what it is? You know, because I look at New York of like, I pounded the pavement here a long time and I did make like some strides of like getting into certain clubs and this and that. But as a general, like, what are the next moves of career? I'm just in a spot of like, I don't really know. But at least LA, I can look at certain things and go, I didn't get XYZ. I didn't get into this club, that thing, whatever. And like, there at least are some specific things I can go, at least I have like this, and this to like strive for on that level.
I think you have to go where you have more opportunities, where the opportunities are already there. Like in New York, you've already made a name, you know, for yourself or your past at the big clubs. Then for me, looking at your situation, it seems like a step back to go to LA if you're not going there to pursue acting. So that's why I would be like, stay here and then make that your home base and then go out there whenever you feel like you need to, if you have a gig out there instead of the way you're doing it now.
Yeah. I mean, but that's how it feels, where it's like, I guess now the big thing was like, I don't have like any representation that like helps me get, quote, bigger opportunities, whether it's acting, writing gigs, even like road gigs, an agent, So I kind of felt like I am in these, quote, big places in New York, like the Cellar, the whatever. And I'm like, I'm not getting like discovered on a higher level, or even like, though I am connected to like bigger comics, not getting like opening for people or like whatever, or like recommended to their management. So I kind of was like, all right, I've been in New York and like those big things aren't happening. However, I do have that comfort of like doing a spot at the Cellar when I do get them, or even hanging out, that I do feel like comfort there. That like I am comfortable being there or seeing just the comics here. There's more of a comfort of I'm like, I have at least known these people a long time. And it does at least feel like more of a real friendship, even though I think something I've struggled with, and I was talking actually to a comic about this the other night, is this thing where you go, you have a lot of friends in comedy, at least that you've known a long time, but like all of us really can only count on one hand, like how many people do we think would like really vouch for us, really want to help us, or like really we would consider like a true friend? It's like, it's not a high number, but there still is like, in terms of, oh, do I feel like I have a bigger pool of like that comfort I feel where I at least feel like I really know these people? It's like, yeah, it is the New York comedy scene versus LA. And so that is like another hurdle I've felt, even in like the friendship hurdle of like, yeah, trying to make friends like outside of comedy, a challenge, but like it is also a little bit within the comedy scene of LA. I'm like, yeah, there's only a small handful on one hand that I even feel like I've known for many years, even though like I wouldn't say, oh, they're my absolute closest friends. It's like that kind of comfort. I'm like, I was at the Cellar the other night and I'm like, man, I'm like, it's like hundreds here.
Yeah.
Just because I started here.
Yeah.
So like, it is hard to leave. And when I come back, I'm like, oh, man, this is nice.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're like, this is nice. So, like, I agree with your point where it's like, yeah, I do have, like, quote, more connections here, it feels like.
And this goes across the board for anything. If you move somewhere to try something, and if you decide to leave after a certain point, it is not a failure. It is not. It is just, I mean, I lived in Los Angeles when I was 21 to 23 and a half. Thank you. Today is my 18-year New York City anniversary.
Hey,
yeah, Cinco de
New
Mayo,
York.
2007. And, yeah, moved here with my 2 suitcases. And, but it's just you wanted to go there, you experienced it, whatever you decide to do, you know, and this is for anybody listening too, do it, try the move, check it out, you know, and give yourself, you know, ample amount of time to like feel it, figure it out, and then, you know, make the decision from there. You know, when you decide like, okay, I don't know if I want to continue doing this, or where should I be and what makes me happy and things like that. I personally think you will have more success in New York. That is my, I'm saying my point, my piece here, because you're here also for a bachelorette party. What is your,
No,
you've got a wedding.
No, I'm not. I'm just here for my cousin's wedding.
Cousin's wedding. Okay. But
There's
wedding
just,
season.
Okay. No, it's just more, some bachelorette stuff has come up through friends getting married and bachelorette planning. Something that I did not know, and I'm curious because you've been on even more bachelorettes than me.
Yeah.
Is it a typical thing that you pay for all the bride's stuff?
See, this is interesting. I think the last big bachelorette thing I went on was like our friend Regina. So when Regina, I mean, she's been married 10 years now, but we went to Las Vegas, but there was 12 of us. Okay. So I think that we basically split everything. I mean, that's a lot of people to split with. But I don't feel personally, if there's like 4 of you, that you need to foot the bill. I think you're supposed to. I think that is, I think you are, but I don't think you should. Like if we're going out to dinner or whatever, and that's your bachelorette party, or we're doing a spa day or something like that, yes, we'll cover you. Like, yes, I think you can do that. If you're doing a big trip, I think you got some audacity to say this is what we're doing and expect people to pay for you.
So I've heard mixed reviews on this.
That's my take.
No. I personally have never been on a bachelorette where it was we cover everything for the bride, like including lodging.
Okay.
So all the ones I've been on, usually there's like something that gets treated to, like one thing. And a lot of times it's been like, okay, we get like the decorations. We decorate the suite. And maybe my sister-in-law's, we didn't do like decorations or anything because we didn't have like a house. It was like we just had hotel rooms for a night and everybody paid for their own hotel rooms. So we like did a spa day and it was like we got her a massage. It ended up being $20 a person. So we were like, all right, we're not doing, you know, the T-shirts or any outfit themes or that anyone had to buy anything specific.
Outfits.
And my sister-in-law was the whole time being very like, I don't want this to be like a crazy spending extravaganza. I don't want anyone to feel put out of like, oh, this thing is so expensive. And I put it out there being like, my sister and I were going to get this for Anne as a gift. If anyone wants to chip in, throw us $20. No pressure. Like text me on the side. And everyone just ended up being like, sure, no problem. $20. Easy gift. Great. But I asked my sister, 'cause she's been on a ton, and she was like, yeah, that's the norm. I was like, what? Even the housing? And she said, yeah. And so I was like, is it more like in your friend group, if like the first person to get married kind of starts the chain, then that's like the trickle down chain situation? But I was like, the housing?
That's okay.
I understand treat to a nice dinner, maybe like some other activity, but like the whole thing. And I don't even care if it is 11 of you and like each thing ends up being like $5, $10. I'm like, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
You're about to be dual income.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
exactly.
You.
You're supposed to be dual income. You're on someone else's insurance. I've made jokes about this where I hate to say this. Like, this is the one thing where I sound a little bitter, but I'm
don't
sick
think
of
it's bitter.
spending money on other people's happiness. Like, this is great, but like there's so much that you put out there, like, and then they have kids, and you're like, when do we cut it? Like, when do we like? I'm sorry. Like, that's
Not only kids, they get the house. There's a housewarming party. There's that Sex and the City episode is fantastic.
It is with the shoes
about Carrie losing the shoes.
And then she's like, Carrie, well, you shouldn't have worn the shoes anyway. Well, I just spent how much money on your life, on choices that you've made.
Mm-hmm.
And see, there was a meme, GIF. I always get them confused. That was like, this is why millennials can't buy houses, because they have destination weddings. And it's true. They spend so much money on this. And listen, I love to travel. I love a trip. So if someone's like, hey, you want to come on this trip? Yeah, I do. That sounds like fun. But also to pay for somebody else, it's like, that's a lot to ask. And it used to be, this is where I don't know really where the switch was made. Maybe it was because of social media, but you used to just take somebody out to dinner or have like a bachelorette night. That was the party, one thing.
Yeah.
Now it's turned into like a big trip. Like dudes, I mean, my coworker went to Costa Rica. No, the wedding was in Costa Rica. Bahamas was the bachelor party. Or like they go to Montreal because of like the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these are just like, they're a lot. Like
I've seen ones that are Greece.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
I mean, I would love a spa. Like mine would be like a weekend at a spa.
Oh, that's my speed.
I would like that.
That's
that would
my
be
speed.
very like, okay, we're all going to hang out. Like the girls, we're going to, that would be something I would really enjoy. But
that's actually what we did for my sister-in-law.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you're expecting people to pay for... Yeah, you're expecting people to pay for you. So you also have to keep in mind like what people can afford and what they can't.
But what's really crazy is then there's also a game of like, well, what if some people like come on yours, they like pay for yours, but then like if theirs isn't that style, or like you don't go on theirs, like what if they're like, well, I was gonna invite her to mine, and now I gotta like pay for her shit. Like there's, I don't know. It's interesting. It's a shocking thing.
I've gone on, there was one I was invited to, and I know I was invited to it because it's friends from high school, but I also was like, I'm a fun time. So
yeah,
I was like, I'm a seat filler. I was like, you need me in there. You need me in here. You need me. Like, I felt bad the last, like I've retired my bridesmaid. I'm not doing bridesmaid stuff anymore. I'm just, my sweet Caroline, that was the last one. And I missed her bachelorette party because... Where was I? Were we in Croatia? I think,
shit.
or one
Maybe
of the other trips.
Yeah,
it was the same, and it was they were just going up and like canoeing and hiking, and I was like, I'm good. And
not really style, yeah. That's tough. That's a tough one.
She knows me, and she's like, it's probably not something that you wanna do. And I was like, that's okay, girl. It's all right. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to make that, but yeah. So
I was just shocked. I asked two of my friends that have been on a good handful. Mm-hmm. I mean, my sister and my good friend Iris, and both of them were like, oh yeah, pretty much. They're like, yeah, all the ones I've been on are like that. You pay for the bride, and I was like, I've been on like 6, and none of mine have been that way.
You want to, okay.
So I was like, I don't know. It was fascinating. Oh no, I asked 3 people. 2 out of 3 was you pay for everything. And the one person was like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, okay, I don't either. Because then I was like, am I some asshole? Like, was I always the person voicing like, people don't do that? And it turns out I'm wrong. And I was like, I'm the one shutting it down. Like, listen, I'm a comedian and I'm not famous. So we're not doing that. I was like, what the fuck?
I was thinking about Regina's bachelorette party. Yeah, there was 12 of us, Vegas, and we went crazy at the Chippendales. Like we were all so tired.
That's a fun time.
I've talked about this on here. We were all so tired from day drinking at the pool. We stayed at the Wynn, and everyone tried a different drink. Like we were getting through that menu, like that cocktail menu.
That sounds fun.
Oh, it was, and it was like topless, like it was adults only. So of course, I was trying to lay out topless because that's my jam. And so, and then when we went out that night, it was like we were so tired. And then they came out to like save a horse, ride a cowboy at Chippendales. And we were like, whoa! Like everyone went, lost it. Our girl Katie ordered like probably $200 worth of like room service, and it rolled in the tin. And in the morning when I woke up, I was like, did you order quesadillas last night? And it was
oh my God.
This table. Like, but we're 8:30 in the morning having Bloody Marys in the pool. Like we did have it was a really good time.
If you're gonna do it up.
It's a really good time because you got to have everybody on board that wants to have a good time. That's the thing with the bachelorette parties. Like I did have a bit about this where like the divorced people are hilarious because they
usually go the hardest.
DTF.
Not even that, like, the married people actually. Because they're usually like, I'm away from the kids. Let's roll.
Oh, the new moms they get drunk real quick.
Yeah.
And they're just like, woo! They are like...
Oh, yeah. I've been on ones with the pump and dumps. You know what I mean? Like, they're like... they're like, hold on, I just got to pump quick. And they're back and they're like, shots! And you're like, wow. new mom is really ripping it up.
Mom is like,
new mom is really looking forward to this weekend. You know?
On our trip, like the divorced gals, woo, they were like out on the prowl. Like they were, I don't want to say I was kind of shocked, but I was like, you know, when maybe you're like, have been a vegetarian for like 15 years and then you start eating meat again? That's what it was. It was like steak it was like they were looking like that was funny. And then I don't like when you're on these trips, it's the same thing with vacations. Like, I think you and I have the same speed on like travel where like I can just lay here at the pool and we're like, that's great. Yeah. But like I can't do the excursion chick who's always like, what are we doing? Are we doing this? Are we doing that?
Constant activity.
Constant activities. I can't. And on the one trip I went on, we went to the Dominican Republic. I mean, this is like 10 plus years ago. And we stayed in a house. It was great. But like I felt obligated to go with everybody to this waterfall. And I was like, I'm not going to climb the waterfall. I'm scared of heights. I didn't have health insurance. I was like, I'm not going to do this. But they were like, no, everybody has to go. No. That was the last of that. Okay. I already got myself here. I don't feel like everyone has to do everything unless we're going out to dinner or something like that. So I rode in the car 2 hours or wherever it was. It was far. It was like on the border kind of Haiti because we stayed in like Puerto Plata or whatever. We stayed up further north. And I sat there with this man while everyone hiked. And I remember he had the most jacked up teeth too. I'm sorry, I can still picture them to this day. But he was like, "What do you mean you don't have kids?" He asked me. I was like, "Why am I getting this in the middle of the Dominican Republic about why I don't have kids? You don't have any kids? You don't blah blah blah." And then I swear he was looking at porn on his phone, and I'm just sitting there like waiting for everybody to come back. And I was like, I shouldn't have never gone on this. Like this is not. I should have just stayed back and laid at the pool, which is what I wanted to do. And that's the lessons that you learn where you're like, oh, what's everybody doing? No, not doing that. Like, and I'm not going to feel bad about,
No, I had it's, I almost feel like maybe I'm always the voice that people ask when they're like, can I channel you for a minute of fuck that, I'm not doing that?
Oh, well,
like,
fuck that, I'm not doing that. That should be a segment. Fuck that, I'm not doing that.
Fuck that, I'm not doing that. I feel like I always get texts from my friends that are the like, kind, considerate, where they're almost like, I don't want to like upset people, like people pleasers that I know, because I had my girl. I'm not gonna say her name. She listens to the pod, and she was on like, it was like couples all going wherever, and it's like beach, vacation, and it's like, whatever the big sightseeing thing is, that it's like, we're here. And it's the bus ride. That's like the 2 hours to go to the thing, but it's blazing fucking hot, and we're gonna be in the sun. And she's like, I get like car sick and stuff easily, and I just go, you don't want to go, just don't go. She's like, well, everybody's going. I feel like it's a big thing. Like, and, I already bought the ticket. I go, how much is the ticket? And it's like $40, because I think it was Mexico. So it's like whenever the exchange. I go, are you fine losing the $40? And she's like, yeah. But I go, no, you're fine losing the $40. You don't want to go. You think you're going to get car sick. You're going to be miserable. I said, are you going to be complaining? I said, because if I'm in the group and I hear your ass complaining, we're going to see the temples and I got to hear you, I'm mad. I'm going to be like, this bitch should have just stayed back. I was like, it's
true.
Don't go. I go, don't go. Just work up the courage to say, I'm not feeling well. Lie if you want to lie. Just don't go.
Yeah.
The next day I'm like, you're on the fucking bus, aren't you? She's like, yeah, I'm on the bus. I'm like, don't go. Like, I'm like, just fuck that. Don't go. Just stay back. Stay at the hotel. It's fine. But like, some people have that thing in their mind. They're like, we're all the way here. I go, no one's going to care. I have no problem being like, I went all the way to that country. No, I did not go see that landmark. And I had a great time. I sat my ass by the pool, and I did not get on the bus with the shitty AC for 4 hours. And look at my tan. And I don't care.
Exactly. See, that is why we do travel together. Yep. It's like, did you go see? Nope. Didn't go do that. Nope. We almost didn't see the Mona Lisa. And I was like, I'm glad we went back. Yeah.
I left that up to you.
I actually wore that shirt that day.
I left it up to you because I had seen it. I had seen it. I left it up to you.
And I was like,
if you want to go try again, because we fucked up the entrance,
It was very confusing, the entrance.
It was confusing.
And thank goodness for Desiree. Shout out to Desiree, who was with us.
Who understands art.
Yep. And she goes, you gotta enter through African art. And then that's how we got in and we got out. and we got my pictures, and I was like, there's Mona Lisa, and
But I'm a team player.
Yep.
I was like, if you want to do it, we'll do it. We'll figure it out. We'll go back tomorrow.
And
we got it in.
I was like, I feel like I have to do this. Is something I feel like I have to do. And
Which
then
is
I
fine.
was like, good.
It's not that I see nothing. I'm not a like, I'm in France and I'm going to cram everything in. Because guess what? That's not relaxing.
No.
I am here to relax. I want to be like French people and have a 4-hour lunch or whatever the hell. I don't know. I don't even know if that's what they do. But to me, that's what they do.
Oh, well, it's also like when I just took the Turks and Caicos trip, it was like we did do one excursion and then we really didn't do anything else. And then people were like, what'd you do? I was like, oh, I took a couple workout classes and, we did pool and beach. Then we had lunch, wine.
Water aerobics.
Oh, I love the water aerobics so much. That was one of my favorite things. Like, honestly, just being in the pool. And it was, so I was like, we walked on the beach. We did that. Did we explore the island? No, just took the boat out for 2.5 hours that day. Saw some stuff, came back, and then the week was done. It was funny. I think I mentioned this, how one woman was like at my workout studio. She's real nice, but she's like, yeah, I can't do that for more than like 4 days, sit on the beach. I was like, I can. I was like, I could have done that for 2 weeks. I would have really settled in there. I just,
I don't want a 7-item itinerary in a day.
No.
I want a couple things and then we're good. And then chill time. Because I don't want a vacation that I come home from and then I'm like, man, I need to like chill from my vacation.
I did have to chill a little bit because I danced hard at night. And I went hard at night. Like, that was a big thing. Like, dinner is that's an activity. Like, getting ready for dinner is an activity. And then after dinner, you had the dance. And you're like, well, I guess I'll have a couple of tequila sodas. It's included. So it was fun.
You know what I mean? See a little bit of the sights. And then have a time. Hit a pub.
You have to have people that also want to, this is just a whole travel. This goes in with the bachelorette parties on travel. Okay, so the same trip that I was on, the same bachelorette party, there was a girl from high school. Now, I don't know if she listens to this or not, but she was, I get if you're on a budget, I understand that, but she was on a budget to a whole nother level. Oh. So we all would go out to eat because it wasn't all inclusive or anything. So we would all go out to eat and she wouldn't order anything. And I was like, are you hungry? Like, she's like, no, I'm good. And then she would just eat everyone else's food that they couldn't finish. And I was like, well, that's really not fair when we're all splitting the check because everyone kind of had the same thing. And she kept doing this. And like, she really wanted to go to this place that was like on the beach for like happy hour. And I was like, sure, let's go. So we went and I was like, oh, what are we drinking? She's like, oh, I'm not going to drink anything. I was like, but you wanted to come here. Like you wanted to, this is the whole point. Like I'm here because you wanted to come here. Like,
but don't tell me she was sipping everybody's drinks.
She did.
No.
Do that. And I was like, okay, and like, it was funny because she had just said on the trip that she went to like Bali. And like, she's like, yeah, you can afford it, blah, blah. I was like, well, yeah, if you're eating off of everybody's plate and that's what you're doing the entire time. Like, it was just, I kind of was like, oh, like.
No, that's a level of cheap. That's pretty bad.
And so, because I was like, there are certain friends that like make more money than I do, and I know that. And so I'm like, okay, I can't ball out necessarily like they can on vacation, just like where we're going to stay is going to be different, things like that. But also there's a level of like, okay, how like budgety are you trying to be? Like, then maybe you shouldn't be going on the trip, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's a...
I was like,
or
I still think
here's
about
the
that.
thing. You want to eat everyone's leftovers? Okay, but you can't throw in nothing on the check. Throwing in nothing on the check is bold.
Bold.
When you ate all of the scraps.
Yep.
That's bad.
That's what bad. I thought too. And
especially like, are we getting appetizers?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Well,
you can't be chiming in on the appetizers.
Yeah, it was real. It was definitely a good lesson in like all these travels I've had. It's a good lesson on like who you can travel with, who you can't, like what's the yeah. So, and certain people are great one-on-one, and then certain people are not great in like bigger groups and things like that too.
Yeah, because that's like the splitting the check thing with the like everybody just throws their cards and you split it evenly. If somebody's like, hey, actually, can we just do like based on what we got? Because somebody like didn't get like a steak and everybody else got a steak and they just got a salad. It's like, well, obviously.
Yes.
Because, and you have to, and be sympathetic to those situations. You're like, okay, clearly someone is on a budget, da-da-da. Or go, hey, you just throw in the cash and the rest of us will split cards. You're good. Reasonable. What she's doing, I've never heard of, honestly.
Okay, I'm going to go a little further and tell another story here.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Okay. So the wedding was at a very nice place. I mean, this is years ago. And we were having a drink before the wedding at the hotel bar, which was very nice. It was in a nice city, and I don't want to disclose too much. So we start talking, her and I, to these two guys, and they're drinking Heinekens out of the bottle. And they had like this much left in the bottle. And we were maybe going to meet up with them later. Or if there was one of them actually that was interested in her. It was just one guy. And so like, I think they exchanged numbers. And she was like, he's like, all right, I got to go. He was going to another wedding that was like close by. And she goes, oh, are you going to finish that? And he goes, oh, no. She goes, oh, I'll drink it. And it was his backwash.
Oh, no.
It was.
Oh, no.
I mean, this is before COVID. But still, I was like,
no.
Ew. Like, I was like, I don't know if he's going to call you late. Like, why? That was the most grossest thing.
I can't believe she said it out loud.
Well, I mean, she did. And then she grabbed the rest of his beer. And I was like, oh, that's gross. Like, that is just, yeah, I didn't really know what to say after that. I was like, are you just going to go pick up everyone's floaters at the, like, reception and drink them? Like, that's, I don't know. I was like.
So almost like, this is a hotel bar. This wasn't.
No, this was a very fancy hotel bar.
Yeah.
Oh. And I was like, that was like, gross. And I was
damn
embarrassed for us as a group. I was like, I'm embarrassed to be like here with.
Oh, I'm mortified. Because part of me would be like, girl, just let him put it down and grab it. Just let him put it down.
It wasn't even, it was this much, like the end of a bottle where it's warm.
I mean, it's disgusting either way. But I'm more shocked to be like, you going to finish that?
Well, then I thought maybe he will call you because if you're taking that down.
Yeah, that could go one or two ways. That could go one or two ways on that part.
I was like, oh. It was
or
interesting.
No backtrack where he's like, oh, I mean, there's really none left. It's like, I would pretend like, oh, I thought I saw more in there.
Yeah, I just
would never say that.
It's like if you're out with your girlfriends and you're like, I'm not gonna finish that wine, be like, oh, you want me to take it? Okay, like that's different. I think when you're out with like, then just like, I was like,
this is unhinged behavior.
Yeah, this was interesting. It stuck with me for all these years.
What would be even more crazy is if you like find out this person actually makes like $120K a year or something.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like this would be like, oh, this is just a sickness.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like those people that you see in the city. There's somebody I see in my neighborhood all the time. And I think they technically, I don't know what it, like they have an Instagram, they have a Venmo handle, but like he floats around from like kind of corner to corner. I saw him yesterday and he was walking his cat on a leash and he had a crown on. And these other people stopped him with their dog and they were like, do you mind if we take a picture? We've always wanted to see a cat on a leash. I was like, this is New York City. This is like, and it was just, and I was walking, acting like I wasn't listening, had my headphones in, but no sound was coming out. And I was like, I do that all the time. And
I've
I was
done that
like,
move. Great move.
That's when you're on the train and I got to dust off that joke. You know, it's a good fight. Everyone has their headphones in, but no one's listening to anything. It's like a good fight. You know, everyone's like, don't pay attention. We're all paying attention right now. Everyone's paying attention. But it was this one guy that I see throughout, and I've seen him for years now. And he like has all of his stuff and he seems okay. Like he seems put together.
Like he's just hustling this cat.
Yes, but he's also not well at times. Like I was like, I feel like he can't be well if he's just living on the street. So,
this is it's like a different version of like the, Elmos in Times Square.
Yes.
Like this is their street hustle.
Yes, but I don't think he lives anywhere. I think he lives on the street with all of his stuff, but is doing like the bohemian thing. But I'm like, he probably has a gym membership where he showers or something like that. Yeah,
they're like put together enough.
Yeah,
that they are approachable that people will want to take a pic with the cat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weird. The
cat on
hustle.
A leash. Oh. Yeah, it was interesting, and
it's
I was
a weird
like,
one
with the like medieval times looking like crown happening, and I was like, interesting. Oh. Only in New York. Yeah, now you're back, Erica. Now, have you seen any crazy stuff that you've been back that you're like, I'm back?
I know. I'm like,
for the weekend.
Honestly, nothing too crazy. Yeah, but there's also just like, it's like riding a bike. I feel like, at least for me, because it's one of those like quote I moved out of New York, but I have so frequently been back in it that it's just like I'm back.
Yep. Guess who's back?
I already was passing. Oh, I got pissed at somebody doing the you walk up the stairs on the subway, especially doing the transfers between two trains, and it's like you walk on the right side. Some guy moves to the left like to pass people, walking slow as shit, looking at the phone.
Nope.
And then I'm like, hey man, and I see his headphone, not listening,
Yep.
and he's got a bag in his left arm, and I'm like, no, you moved to the pat, and it just immediately I was just like, well, you're back, didn't miss a beat, just ready to
Just
go.
right. Just
And
like
I
that.
still got past him, but I was just like, we're back, baby, we're back, ready to roll, ready to fight.
Yeah. I got on New Year's Eve body checked hard. Like coming up the stairs in Times Square. I just finished my New Year's Eve gig, so I was like on a high. I watched the ball drop. I was just taking my leisurely time, plus my feet hurt. So I was just like walking, kind of more gliding. And this guy was coming like up the stairs to get the train and bam. But this is what pisses me off. You know you bumped into somebody.
Yeah.
Because I didn't just bump into air. Like you can feel it. And then I got sat beside him on the train. And I was like, do I say something? And I was like, let's just ride this New Year's high out. Like, no need to say anything. But I want to be like, hey, that shoulder you bumped was mine. Like, hey, someone bumped into me at the Lenwich, too. I was very fired up about that.
You did talk about that.
I did talk about that? Yeah. Sorry.
No. It was right after your vacation. You were just like...
I was like, welcome back.
There's barely some viral chicken Caesar sandwich on Lenwich, by the way.
Oh, it's their picante wrap.
This guy, Leo Giuseppe or something that everybody's following. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
It's the picante wrap. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I didn't know Lenwich was such a, great place to even get a sandwich.
It's
Do you know what I mean? I didn't think it was like...
So what's going on with Giuseppe? What is he
I don't know. This guy, Leo something. What is it? Leo Skeppy? Leo Skeppy.
Okay.
He's just popping up in my thing, and he looks like this really tough, like, mob guy. But he, like, flew to New York for the day just to get this sandwich, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm at Lenwich, and I'm like, Lenwich?
Really?
I'm like, of all the New York sandwich places, to get a sandwich, you're going to go to Lenwich?
Real? And that's what he got? The Caesar?
Yeah. But this guy's, like, dripped in Versace and shit all the time. I have no idea.
Dripped in Versace.
I don't know. But it feels like a gay best friend's just, like, constantly FaceTiming you, and we're all watching this man. We're all just sucked into this man.
That is the world that we live in now. All you need is
weird.
one person to like go viral on TikTok about something. And now everybody, it's like with Guinness. Not that people didn't drink Guinness before. Of course they did.
Is it a thing right now?
It is. So there was a TikTok about splitting the G. So in the big Guinness, 20-ounce glasses, if your first sip has to be like to the G where you split the middle of the G. And there was like a viral TikTok thing about it. We serve so much Guinness now at the bar I work at because all the younger people watching TikTok are now like, oh, you got to split the G.
But what does it mean when you do that?
It's just like a goal. You know, it's like, oh, do it to try. Yeah, like split the G. And so now it's like the thing to drink, which is so funny because people didn't, like, I don't want to say older men drank Guinness, but like it was definitely not, it was more a...
It's funny because it feels like a very heavy beer, and it's actually one of the most low-calorie beers.
It is, and it is delicious. And I do pour mean Guinness. I take pride in my Guinness pours.
But isn't it one of the beers that takes the longest to pour though, because you have to wait?
Yeah, because you're supposed to wait 220 seconds. Is it? I believe so. Yeah, and so to let it settle, we're gonna go to the Guinness Factory. I learned that at the Guinness Factory the
first time.
We're going.
It takes a while.
So, but yeah, that's a new thing that just because it came out on TikTok, that people are like,
we're selling out of Guinness.
And then I hear them all like, because I was like, what's the split the G like? And then now I know.
This is so funny. I had one little other random thing that you made me think of, and now I'm blanking. I did have a tiny new joke that I feel a little proud of. That's been working because it's kind of topical, so I don't know if I should share it.
Share it.
But I did it on stage the other night, and I feel very proud.
Do it.
I think I'm going to clip it up. I'll throw it on the socials.
Yeah, clip it up.
Because have you seen this whole fucking debate about men talking about 100 men versus a gorilla? Have you heard about this?
What? Okay, I saw one thing about 100 men with a therapist. And I guess that was a joke on
that's women.
But I didn't... Okay, and I didn't understand it.
Okay,
I saw it today, actually.
Okay, so I feel like I think this is in response to how it was like women, would you rather face a bear in the woods or a random man? And women are choosing the bear, and men are like, why would women choose the bear? And it's like, because you don't deal with men, right? Mm-hmm. So this, I feel like, is almost men making a hypothetical, like, in response to the whole man versus bear. So they're being like, do you think 100 men could take down one gorilla with like no weapons, no anything, just, and it's a silverback gorilla apparently, which is like an even stronger, bigger version. So my bit is me being like, I don't even need to know the type of gorilla. No, the gorilla wins. Like, you know, and I was like, do you know how strong gorillas are? But I'm like, more importantly, it's like, you're just picking 100 random men. Okay. But I was like, I go, you just need to ask women. Women are the ones who deal with men. Mm-hmm. And I say, I go, I feel like I could just debunk the whole thing myself. All right. I'm like about 6 feet. I weigh 190 pounds. I can count on one hand the number of men who have been able to toss me around in bed. Okay. And you guys think you could take down a gorilla? Like, it's not, the count isn't even to 5. It's less than 5. Like,
that is awesome. That is hilarious.
It crushed so hard.
Did you do that at the cellar?
I actually ended up doing it at the cellar because I did it at Gotham first. Like, I was on the lounge and I'm just more comfortable there to kind of like riff around. And it killed when I said that. I just go, what? I go, I can't find one of you to handle just me. Me. A woman.
That's awesome.
A gorilla. I was like, you got no shot. I was like, and all of you talk a big game. You're like, oh, I'm gonna rock your world. And then we get in there, and you're like, could you scooch a little bit to the right?
I'm trying to pull you down to the end of the bed, and you're like, are you winded right now? Why are you breathing so heavy? We haven't started anything yet. What is going? Can we turn the fan on?
They try to move you, and you're like, it's not that hard to fucking move me. It's not even like to pick me up. It's just like they just try to move your fucking leg. This isn't even in the bit, but like that's all I had to say was like.
Then you gotta scooch to the end.
They just are like, could you just scooch a little bit? And you're always just like, yeah, I'll scooch.
Sure, you gotta scooch like you're at the gynecologist.
Yeah,
and you're
literally
like,
what I said.
Scooch on down, like you're getting a bikini wax, and you're like, thanks. If you could just put a little strength back there. Oh, that is such a great bit.
That's literally what I said.
That's a great bit.
I was like, you know how quickly it went from this was so sexy to I'm at the fucking gyno?
Yep.
And I was just like, yeah, I'll scooch. I'll scooch for you, babe. Yeah.
I hate when they're like, oh, no, let me try to pick you up. No, try is the wrong word. Try is the wrong word. It's like, please don't. And they're like, I'm really strong. No, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt your back. Let's not do this. Well,
what's even funnier, it's like, I'm not giving like the real details, right? But it's like, the people who were able to toss me around was not when I was 190. It's like, I was 170 and they still struggled a bit. Like, and I didn't even get into that.
Meanwhile, we're like, lift with your legs, not with your back.
Yeah, but just to hear, because literally when I was in New York, walking in the street, I have walked by a few different groups of men, overhearing them talking about this fucking debate of the gorilla.
Really?
And I was like, are we fucking for real? I was like, oh, this is like, so it's not just like internet bullshit and joking around. I was like, oh no, I've encountered overhearing some of these men being like, bro, the gorilla. I was like, oh, they are actually debating this out in the real world.
No, that gorilla would also, the men would get in fights with each other anyway. Like you'd have too many cooks in the kitchen there. Yeah. And then they would get, if there was a strategy on what they would do. Yeah, that is, Erica, that's great.
I literally was just like, I dare you. My DMs are open. Yeah. I would love to see one man conquer me. Okay?
You know who it would be, too? It would be like some short, stocky dude that would just lift you up and throw that you would not be expecting.
Probably.
Because it's never the ones that you think, like, that you're like, oh, wow, they're tall, or they're like, nope.
I didn't even get into the size of the men. But it's like, yeah, I've had some tall ones. Incapable, needing me to sketch. It's just funny. But it was more funny to just see all the women immediately know what I was talking about. Yeah. And I was like, see, because I go, you just got to ask women. Mm-hmm. No.
You're like,
all you talk big game, I still got to fucking scooch all the time. Every fucking time. I gotta move for you. Always.
And there's nothing graceful about the scooch.
No.
There's just all of a sudden, like, if you have any type of stomach, your stomach is up and you're trying to like be graceful, and you're like, this is not who can do this? That's why some of those moves, I'm like, who has that type of tricep strength?
Right, and
like,
it's not like they're not flipping me around. Like, it's literally, you can't move me to the left.
Yeah.
You couldn't move me to the fucking left. And we want to discuss if you'd beat a gorilla. No. You wouldn't beat a baby gorilla if I have to fucking scooch.
It would be some little wrestler who would like put you in a
Probably.
move like pow, pow, pow. And you're like, oh, wow, that was impressive. Like, that was like, some like 5'7", like strappy, little like scrappy dude.
Like, one of the ones who could was vegan and weighed 150. And I only know that because he was like a jiu-jitsu guy.
That's, Mm-hmm.
But completely unassuming. I wouldn't be like, that guy could do a lot.
Yeah.
Never would have picked him. But again, the count has yet to reach 5.
I can't. And also my weight fluctuates, so it depends. There was one that did actually pick me up, but I was at my fighting weight. I was at like the best weight.
But that's what I'm saying.
I was doing like hot 90-minute yoga 6 days a week where it was just like, It was like, but that hasn't happened in quite some time.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
That was
long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time
long
ago.
Time.
On that
it's
note,
terrifying when it happens. You're like, put me down.
Yeah,
please.
you're like, oh no. You're like, and then they start shaking, and you're like, can you stop it?
Yeah.
So drop it. Let me know gently again.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not a flower. Put me down, please. Please.
And you're like this far off the ground, and you're like,
horrifying.
Yes.
Anyway.
On that big dismount.
On that note.
Guys, thank you.
Thanks for listening.
This was fun.
Fun to be back in person. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.